Greetings. Here's an intriguing question. What does ulcerative colitis and neurodegeneration have in common? Those are two very serious conditions that people have today. Hi, I'm Morley Robbins, founder of the Root Cause Protocol and never-ending researcher. It's amazing to think that 16 years have now gone by. A daily task, 7 days a week, but I love it. And what I came across the other day was a fascinating article about an enzyme I'd never heard of. And again, I'm always amazed by what I don't know. And I'm always amazed by what more I have to learn. So, and it turns out the article that caught my eye was about what's called PON1 and referring to and also referring to ferroxidase, which we talk about quite regularly as it relates to older people. And then the second article was talking about PON1 and this enzyme I'd never heard of called ARE, ARL esterase, ARYL esterase. A little tricky to say. But what's important is, and these are the two articles which will pop into the video so you can actually get the download, get them for yourself. But we know that copper has particular properties. Copper as a mineral is considered the antioxidant mineral. It's trying to reduce oxidative stress just by its presence. But it also empowers a lot of antioxidant enzymes. We know about ferroxidase. We know about superoxide dismutase. We know about catalase and glutathione peroxidase. One that we don't often talk about, it's called PON1. It's also called peroxidase 1. And it hangs out on the plasma membrane of the HDL cholesterol, high density lipoprotein cholesterol. And just to make sure you get the orientation right, means that part of the molecule that's touching the plasma is where this enzyme is taking place, the plasma membrane. And so turns out, much to my surprise, is that peroxidase 1 enzyme actually has two expressions. One is peroxidase, and the other is called this ARL esterase. I never knew that. I knew about the PON1, but I didn't know about the ARE. And what was stunning was to learn about the fact that in the first article, what they found is that the PON1 expression in the patients with neurodegeneration and the control was very similar. There was really no distinction. But the ARE expression of PON1 was very different, and that the ARE expression was dramatically lower in the individuals who had neurodegeneration. Well, that got me started. So then I started to look at these two enzymes, and the next study that popped up has to do with ulcerative colitis. And a lot of people suffer from that, as you probably know. And what's really behind the colitis? Well, it's iron. That's what the ITIS stands for. It's the iron seeker. And they did the exact same assessment. PON1 was the same in the patients with ulcerative colitis versus the control. But the ARE was completely different. ARE was substantially, significantly lower in the patients with ulcerative colitis versus the control group. And so now it just opens up this whole Pandora of, well, here's the mechanism that's really behind inflammation. That's the way it's described in both papers. That the PON1 I thought was the real leader of the pack, and it's not. It's ARE is the one that's very revealing, has a relationship with copper, as you might expect. And I think it really begins to reveal a hidden factor in our health and well-being that no one's talking about. The ARE enzyme expression is very, very important, particularly in inflammatory conditions. And so we can just begin to have a field day now, begin to look at PON1 versus ARE and see whether this distinction holds true throughout different patient populations. So I thought you would find that fascinating. I certainly am intrigued by it. And I'll look forward to your comments and thoughts below. And thanks for taking the time to hear another breakthrough in the research. Have a great day. Bye-bye.